Termites attack more than 5 million homes every year and cause over $5 billion in property damage. Don't let this happen to your home. Call me today at Steve's Pest Control and let's get your house protected. I'm going to solve your termite problems. I guarantee it.
Now you got a friend in the pest control business, Steve's Pest Control.
These homes look great, don't they? And they'll keep looking good for decades without painting or other high-cost maintenance. That's the beauty of using CertainTeed siding. CertainTeed offers the broadest range of color and design options to create the look of true wood craftsmanship. But you get a lot more than good looks. You get performance second to none. CertainTeed siding, it's the most trusted name in the industry.
Closed captioning provided by eNet, your pay-as-you-go work comp specialists.
We're here in the master bedroom, master bathroom for John and Toby's Custom Home. We're talking about interior doors today, countertops for the master bathroom, also some cabinets. But the basics behind an interior door, they're called a split jamb door. The reason they're called split jamb door is this part right here and the casing on the other side actually comes apart from the door, this part, and the casing on the outside. The reason it does that, so you can kind of sandwich the two pieces together. It makes door install real easy. Makes it very fast, very quick. We slide this part on. We make sure that this is plumb, both sides. And we make sure that our reveal from top to bottom is the same throughout. A reveal is the gap between the two doors. As you can see at the top, we're about a little over a 1/16 of an inch, all the way down to the bottom, same thing. Now Mid-City provides all our interior doors. They actually make them in their own shop. So all these were made by Mid-City Lumber in their own warehouse. Once we have the outside casing and jamb set and nailed, we'll come on the inside. And if you'll notice, we have a nail hole here, a couple nail holes here, nail hole here. What we do is between the 2x4 that's on the inside and this exterior split jamb, we'll actually put shims in there. We'll space it out to where everything is real tight, to where when you pushed on these both sides, you can't move it because it's wood to wood to wood. Once we have it shimmed, we'll nail those shims in places at the hinge points. We'll slide this other part of the split jamb on there, make sure it's tight. We'll set our nails all the way throughout, all around the casing. And then we'll put a nail right in here. The reason we do that is this split jamb fits in a groove right here. So when we nail it here, it nails this side, and into the wall. And this split jamb is not coming apart. Once you get your outside set and plumb and where it needs to be, the inside falls right into place. It's seamless. And we've done that through every interior door in the whole house. They're already set, ready to go. And then once we get all the interior doors set, then we work on the base trim. And that's what we're working on next. Day 241 out here, John and Toby's Custom Home. There's lots of things going on right now. We're working on trim, finishing up the cabinets, setting all the countertops. Basically what we're doing is getting this thing ready so the painters can come in, do the finished paint. That way we can finish all the trim fixtures part of the home. What we're working on today is the process of trimming out a home. Here's what we do through the whole process when you're trimming out a home. It's real easy. A lot of people give it too much credit and there's really not a lot that goes into it. What we do first is we measure out the whole room wall to wall. When you get the measurements wall to wall, then we go to the saw and do all our cutting. I'm going to give some terms that I'll be explaining later what they mean. For example, 3 13/16 straight to straight. 26 1/8, cope left to outside 45. And we'll measure out this whole room, laundry room, closet, until we get to an ending point, which is door casing right over here on the left-hand side. Now that we have all our measurements, let's go over to the saw. We'll start cutting. I'm going to show you how to cope. I'm going to show you how to make trim look perfect when it's done. So now we're at what is called the trim chop saw. We're going to cut all of our trim pieces. It's a pretty smooth process. I'll be the one cutting, and I'll feed the pieces to the guy who's going to install the trim on the inside. So our first measurement is 3 13/16. Mark that here on the piece of wood, and it's straight to straight. I'll then run this piece over to him. Here you go. Okay. Now the whole time while I'm working on cutting the trim, he's actually marking out his 2x4 studs up and down the wall. That way he knows where to nail the trim as he's installing it. When you're starting out for a cope left to straight, you always get your straight cut first. Then you measure off your straight edge, and in this particular case we're at 26 1/8. And you mark that on the top of your trim piece. The reason you do that is you set your saw to a 45-degree angle. So you have a 45-degree cut. You flip it over, do what's called a back cut, 22 1/2 back cut. Notice I stopped the cut right where the contour starts. The reason we do a 45 is so we can get our profile. Basically what we want to do is cut out the raw wood. The only way to do that is to cope it. That's why we call it a cope left. Coping saw, and you trim out the angles or the curves in the trim. And that allows it to butt up the piece right next to it and gives you a perfect quarter.
Brought to you in part by Carpet One Floor and Home Columbia. Best brands, best service. The one store for your perfect floor. Forum Christian Church, intentionally connecting people to Jesus.
Steve's Pest Control. Now you have a friend in the pest control business.
And Withrow Electric. No job too small.